Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with My Hero Academia, the final season, episode number 4 reaction. Okay, the previous episode, Bakugo was able to stop All For One, and yes, All Might was saved. Bakugo was able to go and like reach so like fast amount of speed that like it seemed like the whole world was stopping. The water droplets like freeze for a moment, and he was like using like a certain technique, like the sweat from within his, like, throughout his whole body. He was using it to like propel himself. It was crazy. Right, and in the end you can see he was literally just moving faster than All For One. All For One kind of got reminded of that guy, I forgot his name, number two, who was the reason why his brother was able to, like, his brother took his hand, and he looks a lot like Bakugo, and the vibe that he gave was a lot like Bakugo's. So All For One gets even more triggered because of that. So it's like things are going crazy. Yeah, so let's see what happens. I'm guessing we'll probably see Bakugo fight All For One today because they're mid-flight, both of them. So let's see. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is a preference. Let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. What the? Oh, All For One's memory. Who the hell is this? Wait. Oh, they were. Oh, wait a minute. Interesting. That was All For One and his brother, right? Okay, let's see. Spark explosion. What? Okay. Wait, why are we getting this again? Conjunction. Okay. Yeah, so this is when the whole thing started. Oh, I don't know. Hey! Oh my god. Yeah, so that was. Oh my god. Yep, he's like taking the quirks and everything. No, no, never mind. He. Oh no, this is just from his mother. I forgot about it. He gets the quirk getting power later. That's why he's so small. Oh. Confrontation. 10. Captain Hero. Um, 2 years later. Then millions. Oh, what the? Weeks prior. Yeah. Right. Wow. He's like, I'm all for one. Alone, hiding his true identity. Yep, that's why all for one. Yeah. No, he does have one. They just didn't realize it because of his power being such a because he has all. One for. I found a meta power that. Oh no! Wait, he gives it to him. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Okay, never mind. Yeah. Yoichi. Yeah, okay, so then this happened. Yeah, he looks exactly like Baku. Crazy. Oh my god. Million. Yeah. Oh, wait, so did he transfer his power to him before? Hmm. Oh, wait. Okay, so something. Man, touch. Right. One you've always had. Oh, soft into easy to answer. Okay, wait. I need to go back and reread this part. Other people. Hmm. True. Yeah, he never. Okay, I see. So okay, Nana got that. Okay. Damn. Yeah, it's not him. Like what? Like you think like the only blood related? Great. Hawthorne is tripping now. He's like, oh, the only point I can send on myself next to. Yeah. Oh my god. Here we go. Omnifactor Unleashed. Okay. Right. Yeah, but he does. He's like, yeah. If it happens, happens. I have to take a. Oh, it's coming. Yo. Oh wait. Is there particles of his sweat on him or something? Because he uses his sweat to explode. So yeah. Okay, there you go. Oh. Oh. Oh my god. Crazy. Yep. Yeah, he's gonna come and attack you before that. Sure, bro. Oh! Oh, oh my god. Yeah, oh boy. Oh boy. Come on, keep exploding. Yeah, keep exploding. Bro, time to realize you're not the center of the world. Yeah, exactly. I said he's getting rage baited. He's pissed off. The quirk factors. Alright, it's time to go. Yeah, Bakugo used to say that before, I remember. Hey, yo. What? What? Oh, right. Yep, it finally became the downfall for him. Yep. Is he a toddler? Okay, sure, buddy. You're too optimistic, bro. Oh my god. Okay, yeah, bro, it's over for you. Oh god. Yeah, a lot of blood loss. No, don't say that. Just we need him to disappear first. This guy. Yeah. Wait, is he going to punt him or something? Like a straight kick to his face or something? Hey! Oh my god. You know what? Oh! Yep, he's regressing even more. Yeah, he's going back. Wow. Wait, what? It's not? Oh, well, okay. Hmm. Nah. You know, every person is their own person. You don't have to, you know, be like someone else. Alright. Well, yeah, I was correct. I was thinking they're going to make Bakugo defeat All for One. And they did that. And now Shigaraki is the only one who's left. Good god, this one freaking guy who has been just being the absolute menace from the very, you know, beginning, is finally gone. Hmm. Okay. And there you go. That was today's episode. So yeah, this was the episode where All for One. Well, it's the end of All for One. And yeah, like I said, after so many episodes, after so much he has done, not like not only this show, even in Vigilante as well. he he's been a complete absolute menace um throughout like two series. That person is finally gone. Like, good god, like so many things that he have done and everything. Now in this episode we kind of get to see a little bit more into the psyche of All For One and Yoichi, and their past as well, how how they were, like where they come from and all that. And we got to see their mother, and their mother had um you know like given birth to them, and he just he took the quirk from her. And I guess like in that process she also died. And from that point onwards he was the person that we see. So obviously, I'm actually glad that they didn't bring any type of sob story for his past or anything. Like, yeah, it was, the whole his whole situation was pretty crappy. You would say, like how everyone like discriminated between the meta humans and the non meta humans. Like when the whole quirk thing was starting, when it was new. Obviously, the people who were like the normal people, they were afraid of the others, and they discriminated against them and did all of that. That's why his mother, their mother, who had a quirk, like that person, she ended up being like that. Like she was discriminated against, and like not only her, a lot of people ended up like that. So that whole situation obviously was very crappy. But I'm actually glad that in their past, from the very beginning, you can see how much of a piece of crap All For One is. you know like, he yeah, there was only one, I guess you could say, tiny bit of maybe like affection and dependence he had on his brother Yoichi, but that was it. That in itself was in such a twisted manner that it ended up being something bad. Like, that little amount of affection, be it dependence, be it like, whatever he had for his brother, that was also in a very twisted manner. So at the end of the day, he was a piece of crap from the very beginning. you know like, narcissistic, what else, like everything, every bad thing that you can put on him, you can put on him, because he has been like that from the very beginning. Egotistical, narcissistic, prideful, greedy, megalomaniac, or whatever you call him. Like every single thing you can say, and it will be like, yeah, that was All For One. Okay, so yeah, that is what happened. And when his brother was helped by someone else, by Kudo, he lost his crap. He completely just lost everything. He was like, oh, where are you going? And he like ended up killing his brother. And yeah, and from that point onwards, he absolutely hated Kudo. He hated him so much. Not only that, he made sure that Kudo's whole family, be it anyone who's close to him, is just gone. And he was like, yeah, finally, you know that eyesore, who was the reason why my brother ran away from me, he's gone now. Not even him or any of his bloodline, anything is left. But the ironical thing ended up being, even in the like at the end, he ended up meeting someone who exactly resembles Kudo, which is Bakugo, even though they have no blood relation, nothing. It's just that they are the same type of person. Like, not even the appearance, more like the way they look at the world, the vibe that they give out, and their willpower, their ideals ended up just, you know, being exactly the same. So that's why I'm saying it's very ironical, because he made sure to completely wipe out anything related to Kudo in this world, and it turns out it doesn't even matter, because you know people's ideals, the way they look at the world and everything, all of these things, obviously they're not blood related, or they're not bloodline connected, that oh yeah, you and your family will only have this set of ideals, and ambition, all these things are something that anyone can have, and it can intersect, or kind of it can be similar between any people. It does you don't need to be blood related for that, you know. So the ironical thing ended up being, like, even though he did so much to make sure that everything related to Kudo is gone from his life, you know, he ended up meeting Bakugo in the end, who had the same set of ideas and who really reminded him of him, appear in front of him and taking away everything from him. He was the one who took away everything from Kudo, and in the end, he ends up getting everything taken away from him as well by Bakugo in the end. So that was the, you know, like the whole like section, like a poetic justice, like he, you know, yeah, he got in the end. Um, right. So yeah, like I was saying, like I'm glad that they didn't give him like some sort of like sad past and like, oh, like he's just, you know, like he's just a victim of the circumstance. None of that. I'm so glad. If they tried to pull that crap, I would have been pissed off. Like seriously, like I don't need any sob story for this freaking guy who has manipulated like and did so many things for so many people throughout his life. You know, like I'm glad that All for One is an actual villain, like rotten to the core from the very beginning. You know, like he has been like this from the very beginning, and I'm glad that, you know, like they didn't go in that direction. Like as soon as it started like a flashback, I was in my head, I was thinking, oh no, are they going to make us like sympathize for him or something? Nope, no sympathy. He was like this from the very beginning. You know, the first thing he says, like, everything in this world is for me. He's so, like, what can I say? He's so, like, uh, you know, he's so bad that even when he, as a child in his mother's womb, he ended up taking everything from Yoichi. And Yoichi was this small little, like, you know, like from the very beginning, even when he was in his mother's womb, he has been taking from people. You know, he took from his brother, then he took from his mother, and then he took from everyone. He takes, he's that person, just keeps taking and taking. You know, the only, and it's kind of funny, the only one thing that he gave, which is the quirk to Yoichi, ended up being the reason for his downfall. From, you know, that point to like in a connection, like now finally like Deku Bakugo and all that. That one thing that he gave ended up being the reason for his downfall, and that is hilarious. Like, you know, like I said, this is like some beautiful, like, you know, like a like a way, like everything like whole, like roll like a domino effect, like one little thing, like he's someone who has been taking from everyone, but that one thing that he gave ended up being the reason for his end. So yeah. So that's what happened. Okay, like I said, there's one part I need to go and recheck. I've forgotten. Like, you know, they kind of mentioned this in the previous season, or was it the season before that? It was All for One who gave that quirk to Yoichi, right? Yeah, so he gave him a quirk. Okay, so but oh, so it was a quirk that stockpiles quirk. Yeah, and it merged with Yoichi's own quirk, which hasn't come out. That's what he was saying. I you know what? I need to go back to that part and properly read. Uh, which was ability to transfer quirks. Ah. Okay. Yeah, I thought it was something like that. So, you know, like how all for one for wait, yeah, one for all, how it is like a power that is able to transfer, and at the same time it's able to store. Like, you know, like someone has it within them, the power that that person has, it transfers to another person. That person, that power that they have, it transfers to another person, you know, and it stores everything. So it goes from one person to another. Whatever quirk that person has, it stores it, and that whole package, it goes to another person, you know, and that's how it goes. So, you know, um that is what it is. So I thought it was something like that, because I was not able to properly understand because I was reacting. But I think All for One says it over here, that he says that how the power that he gave Yoichi ended up being something that reacted with Yoichi's own quirk, which he didn't know that he had, and it ended up merging with it to make all for one for all. So that's what happened actually. It's not that he gave him the whole quirk. Like I don't know, maybe I didn't understand or maybe I didn't realize or properly. But I was like under the impression that he gave that one for all quirk to him. But no, he had something within him. It like the quirk one for all isn't even a like a whole quirk or something. It's a two part thing. One part Yoichi already had, and another part he ends up giving Yoichi because he was like, "Oh, my brother doesn't have any quirk. Here you go," that kind of thing. And using that, he tried to kind of drag Yoichi into his group. As you can see, that he wanted him to be like, "Oh, come and join me," like that kind of thing. That's why he gave him that quirk. But yeah, it ended up being the reason for his downfall. Like the thing is, I feel like he wouldn't have given him that quirk if he realized it's going to mix and become something like that. So that's what happened. Okay. Anyways, oh, you know what? Okay, I found this part. Fine. Let me read this. Okay, so where is that part? I think it says it here somewhere. Where he was like sitting down and eating his breakfast or whatever. Okay. Okay, yeah. Kudo says like there's some kind of like not Kudo but the other guy with Kudo. He says that oh like you have something else within you, like a little like extra thing. Yeah, so that was when he transferred like like his transferred quirk, Yuichi's transferred quirk got to him. That's why he had two things. But like before he died as well, he also ended up transferring to someone else. So it kept going. Okay, here we go. The meta power I gave him was gone because his own seized it and absorbed it to make up for what it lacked. Yeah, okay, so there you go. Okay, this part. The meta power I thought. Okay, no, just a minute. Alright. Okay, so what I took from someone, what I took so I could make Yoichi my subordinate, yeah, was the power I forced upon him despite his repeated rejections. Yeah, the meta power I thought I gave him had disappeared. Such a thing has never happened before. I've used my powers to confirm that Yoichi has no meta ability. I once suspected I had taken his before I was even self-aware. What? I once suspected I had taken his before. Oh, so he says that he might have had something, but he thought that he took it from him, just like he ended up taking everything from his brother from the very beginning. Ah. But further inspection indicated he did have a tiny non-functional piece of trash. Right. That my own meta power couldn't even recognize as a factor. Yeah, it was something like a factor that never fully formed due to malnutrition. Yeah, because he ended up taking everything from Yoichi. Don't tell me it has been activated. Yeah. Yeah, and that's why, like, when he gave that quirk to Yoichi, that ended up making the quirk complete. Or I guess it fed it, and they kind of merged together to make something like that. I see. Yeah, so there you go. That's what happened. So yeah, the one thing that he gave to someone in his life ended up being the reason for his downfall. That is that is that's beautiful. Okay. Now, yeah, that was what we saw today. All for one story. Um, Right, and as we get to see, from the very beginning, he was this like egotistical maniac, absolute, you know, what do you call him, megalomaniac, whatever you call him, and he had a slight bit of maybe affection or dependence on his brother, but it was only because he looked at it in a way where he was like, oh, like my brother, the brother is one of my property, so that's why he kept him with him, kept him alive, and just was with him because he thought that, oh, that's my thing, that thing is my thing, which is his brother. So obviously, like I said, it's still twisted as hell. You can call this affection, but it's an affection in a very wrong way. Like it is just so twisted and dark that you cannot even call this affection. It's just a weird thing that he had. Like this whole thing. Like, oh yeah, he belongs to me. He can go nowhere. He will always stay with me and all that. And yeah, and that is why when finally someone came and saved his brother from him, he went crazy. He went absolutely crazy. He went and just grabbed Yoichi and ended up just killing him. But he didn't realize that, he has transferred the quirk to Kudo. And yeah, I do wonder when that happened. Like, when did he like transfer? I guess it happened like unconsciously. You know, like when Kudo grabbed his hand. You see, like when Kudo grabbed his hand, he was like, let's go, and like tells him to go with him. It probably happened like, there unconsciously, and he ended up getting the something like that. I don't know. Either way, yeah. Oh, this part is also very crazy. You can see like when he finally like when Yoichi dies, Kudo's there, and he like here's it's been said he made eye contact with with a young man who took his brother, where it was covered by a thin film. His eyeballs had no natural luster. Yeah. So in his eyes there was no reflection of the young man. Crazy. Yeah. It's kind of funny because like his whole eye being like that, like completely lacking any type of reflective, like it's kind of shows how he, how like reflection is something that shows like what you are, like the reality, or like something. And he, I don't know, like the fact that he has none of that kind of, I don't know, in a weird way kind of shows how he's just always him. That's how what All For One is. He's always like me. Everything is for me, everything is for my, like, so yeah. Right. Okay. Now in the end, All For One tries to, like, his last ditch effort to go to Shigaraki and like get his power, and he was like making all these plans. He was like, oh, I'm going to, like, this will be like my last ditch effort. I'm going to throw my everything towards Shigaraki and just go there, like I'll end up like swallowing everything. So basically he was like, yes, I'm going to use everything. It doesn't matter if I regress. I'm going to take everything with me, destroy everything, destroy Bakugo, destroy everything, go to Shigaraki, and using the factor, my factor, my whole thing that is within him, I'm going to reignite that and take control of his body. That was what he was thinking. So it was like a gamble, like all in. He went all in, and he was like, yeah, this is a whole gamble. I went all in. Either I'm going to win or I'm going to lose everything. And yeah, he ended up losing everything because Bakugo did his, like his explosion thing. And so Bakugo also did a very smart thing here. You can see he put his nitroglycerin like trait like nitroglycerin, like part of the sweat inside like normal water sweat, and made like a little case, as he says, he made a case so that it doesn't explode while going. So it's like normal sweat, but it's only the outer casing. The inner casing is the nitroglycerin. So he uses that, and it was like, it's probably on like All For One's face and everything at that point where all the sweat kind of went towards All For One. So that's why when All For One was like trying to like rush, Bakugo kind of, I don't know what he did, but he probably like detonated them somehow. And yeah, it ended up like stopping him midway. So crazy. Okay, this part. So yeah, this part, Bakugo says, I coated them and sent them flying. Explosive sweat drops coated with normal sweat. That is. Okay. Oh, wait, you know what? I didn't realize this. I guess it makes sense. I thought all the sweat that Bakugo sweats is actually nitroglycerin. You know what? I don't know why I thought that. That would have been pretty dangerous. I don't know why I ever thought that. I thought, because he cannot even sweat then. Like, so there is like nitroglycerin, but there is like normal sweat he sweats as well. Okay, I sent them out unexploded, mixed them together after a delay. There you go. And he just like shot them towards him. Figured some other impact could set it off. Oh, so he didn't detonate it. He was like, yeah, it's going to detonate somehow. Some impact will detonate it. And I guess it makes sense. That's why when All For One was going fast towards them, I guess the sweat that was already in him, probably because of that, like that force, it exploded automatically. Like the outer coating of the normal sweat probably just got out, and the nitroglycerin was the only thing that was left, and it exploded. Because he was going so fast towards them. Something like that. I don't know. Maybe. Either way, yeah, and that stopped him, and he was like, I'm going to destroy everything. But Bakugo just comes in with his explosions and just completely just makes like damages him so much that he keeps regressing. Finally he ends up being this whole toddler who's still thinking like, oh, I'm going to get everything back, like I'm going to destroy Bakugo, then I'm going to go to Shigaraki. Like he's still thinking all of that as a kid. And yeah, in the end, again, he was the reason why he his own downfall. He might have been able to do something here. Like he might have won here actually if he didn't use the bone thing that he does, because of his short temper. He lost. He was like too salty. He was too angry. He was too salty. So, like being this completely like enraged person, he completely lost any type of like plan he had, or any type of realization as to what he's doing. So he just shot that towards Bakugo, thinking that, oh, that'll kill him. But that ended up being the reason for his complete end, because that ended up using his power. Bakugo ended up destroying it, and so that strain in power regressed him furthermore, making him completely disappear. So I'm thinking, what would have happened if he didn't use that final attack? If he kept his calm, and he was like, alright, you know what? Let Bakugo, because Bakugo wouldn't be able to keep standing there. Bakugo would have fallen there, and not be able to do anything. If he kept calm and he just stood there waiting for Bakugo to collapse, and Bakugo collapsed, what would he have done? Could he have gone to Bakugo and taken his power? He might have. He might have been able to do that. He might, just like how he got his power from, like, took all power from his brother, his mother, even when he was like a little toddler. It's the same kind of situation here. He probably would have gone to Bakugo and somehow gotten his power and gotten back his form, at least a little bit. and it would have been, Bakugo would have died. It would have been the end of everything, you know. But him losing his crap in the middle, completely losing his mind in the middle, shooting that bone towards him or whatever that was, ended up being completely destroying him, you know. So, and he himself addresses this even in this a little moment ago. He himself says that it was my mistake, you know. I have been someone who has always been calm and cool, you know, and the reason why he ends up losing is because he let emotions take the better of him, you know, and he just lost everything. And you know, this is the thing, I think I mentioned this in the previous episode. You know, the person who kind of like rage bait others, you know, and everything, if you're able to get under their skin, you know, they will go crazy, you know, they will go completely crazy. You know, like it's like that kind of thing, like you have like a lot of attack but you have no defense against these kind of things. Like, you know, he was a master manipulator, a master rage baiter, you know, up until now. So many people he has rage baited. He has rage baited All Might and everyone, you know. Like, you remember when All Might was fighting him, continuously he used to say stuff about Dana Shimura and so many other things and be like, oh, this is because of you, see what you have done, see, you know, all that things, just going under his skin and, like, you know, making him angry, trying to, like, kind of, you know, trigger him and everything. This is the way he operates from the very beginning. And now this guy, finally something happened to him that made him lose all his, like, you know, like marbles, and he went crazy, you know, because someone else rage baited him back. And he went completely just crazy, and yeah, that becomes the reason for his end. You know, it's crazy. Like he probably could have survived that if he didn't use that attack towards Bakugo. Like I said, Bakugo would have fallen there. He probably would have taken Bakugo's power and somehow, but no, he used that. He was like, "How dare you? You know, like, you little boy who looks like Kudo. Like, you know, I'll take everything from you." And he tries to attack him, and bam. And then he realizes, "Oh no, what the hell did I do? Why did I attack him? That ended up taking the rest of my power, and now I'm just going to disappear." And yeah, that's what happened. He just disappears. Right. Okay, so the stolen factors won't go back to the owners because that's what Hawks's, like, you know, like, thing says. The stolen factors are going back to their owners, and he says, like, or not, maybe, or, but that would have been nice. Okay, so it's just gone, I guess. It's gone along with All for One. So, you know, yeah, that's it. Right. Okay. Yeah, you know what? That would have been very helpful if it went back to the heroes. There's so many heroes that could have just gotten it back, and they probably could have come and help us out against the battle. But oh no, that's not going to happen. It's gone. Right. Yeah, and that was today's episode. A lot of new things we got to know today. Like I said, like, this whole Shigaraki, not Shigaraki, sorry, all for one and Yoichi situation, we had no idea, or, you know, like we didn't know, like, the exact details as to what their life was, and so we get to see it from here. Also, the fact that it was like two things mixture that made one for all. Like, it was not only Yuichi's power, or it was not only, you know, like, all for one, the power that he gave him. Those two like kind of like reacted to each other and kind of ended up fulfilling and becoming like a proper quirk, which ended up being this quirk which you can transfer and kind of store quirks and give it to the future generations. Keep doing that. You know, yeah, that kind of thing. So, right. Yeah, and there you go. That was it. Okay, So next episode, I'm assuming we're probably going to focus on Shigaraki and Deku now, because that's the only thing that's left. So let's see. Um, right. So yeah, that was my reaction to episode number 4 of My Hero Academia season 8. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button. Subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that is it. Thank you for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.